Welcome, everybody. It's showtime for the second race in the round of 12 in the HTL Cup Series season. We are in the championship races. I'm Carmen Sienna. Welcome, everyone, to Darlington. It's the iRLC Southern 500. 184 laps tonight. We're on this 1.36 mile oval. It's a windy night, but it's a cooler track. We'll see how drivers get along with it this evening. It's going to be difficult. This is one of the more difficult races on the calendar. Smaller fields, everyone has a little bit more space to work things out. There'll be 24 cars on track tonight as we get everything kicked off and ready to go. Bryce Bohr currently leads the standings. Driver the number one missed out in the playoffs after finishing runner-up last season. Still looking for his first career win in HTL competition. Is tonight the night for car number one? Chad Swatsworth sits second in the time so far. He is the defending winner of this race. Won this race last year. When the pressure is turned on and wins are what you need to get into the next round, Swatsworth has not won yet this season. You have Josh Gaiman, who will have a penalty to suffer to serve in this race. So will Dustin Hall. Two of the fastest drivers in HTL competition will start this race from the very back of the field. Caitlin Height. Obviously, we see her as she goes down the back straightaway. Regular season champion, still the points leader despite a less than ideal situation last time out. Pocono was not too awful kind to the 11 car this evening, or last weekend. She's looking for a little bit more kind of a time here tonight. Less than 2 minutes left until qualifying begins. We're looking forward to it. It's a challenging track. Doesn't matter what you run here. It's oblong shape. And its unique track length make it a very interesting compromise between two halves of what has become a classic stock car track. I'm in the booth on my own tonight. Illness has befallen both of my co-commentators. Christina Ryan is away dealing with illness, as is for tonight's Stryxnine Pulsatrix. Both of them get well soon. I'm still getting over an illness I've been dealing with for the last week, so bear with me because there will be times where I'll have to kind of step away to take a drink or something like that. But it should be a fun night nonetheless. Practice time has elapsed here at Darlington. Qualifying will get underway. 24 cars in tonight's event. Not everyone will have a chance to qualify. Again, as I mentioned, Josh Gaiman and Dustin Hall among drivers that will start at the back of the field after being issued penalties from Pocono 7 days ago. So here's what drivers will be looking at in this qualifying session. Obviously, qualifying in different conditions is going to be a little bit hotter. You got one lap, so you can't make a mistake. Otherwise, you'll be starting deep in the field here this evening. Wind hasn't changed too awful much, but the track temperature has gone up significantly. 112 degrees is the track temperature tonight. Caleb Eichler looks like maybe one of the first drivers to take to the track here as we watch everyone get situated and ready to go for qualifying. We got over an hour for qualifying, but qualifying here should take less than 30 minutes. Should take almost closer to 20 minutes. Should be a very quick qualifying session here this evening. Kind of waiting and seeing who all moves here. Obviously going through a little bit of a roll call and percussions here. More drivers joining the track here. Looks like it may be Lilac Sear. It will be Lilac Sear that will make the first qualifying attempt here. Car says number 50, but it is the number 96. Driving the Toyota, filling in for Arrowhead Racing. There'll be 3 cars for Arrowhead Racing tonight. The 96 is Zier, the 11 of Caitlin Height, and the 27 of Caleb Eichler. And there's the 27 Eichler rolling up right behind. Lilac Zero move. And qualifying will begin. You got to warm up in one timed lap here. So every lap counts. Crowd start finish line to start lap number 1 now. Lilac Zier. Out of turn 2 down the Boeing back straight away. Cannot touch the wall. Getting very close to it out of turn 3 and 4. But a clean lap to set the baseline for everyone else. What is it for the 96s here? A 29.86. Eichler starting his first lap now. What can the 27 car for Arrowhead Racing put together? Really slow out of 2, but did not hit the wall. This lap will count. For Eichler, it's been a tale of bad luck. Did not get to take the start at Pocono a week ago. But he'll qualify and go second place. We'll see how that stands. Obviously, no one going home. 24 cars tonight. Means everyone is safe. It's just a matter of where you start. Eichler cannot start any worse than 21st. Neither can the driver on your screen right now, who's tagged the wall and will start at the back of the field. Brandon Proudfoot tagged the wall there out of turn 2. Would be incredibly surprised if his lap sticks. Should be an invalidated lap time. I'd be surprised if it's not, but we'll see him cross the line here. Where does Proudfoot go? Nowhere. It is invalid lap time. Hunter Beach. Driving the number 23 for NFG Motorsports. You see how close they get to the turn 2 wall. Oh, he tagged the wall there between 3 and 4. Is that a bad lap? Will Peach be starting from the back of the field? We'll find out. He will be starting from the back of the field. His lap did not count. And that's how easy it is to ruin a lap time here in qualifying at Darlington. Sastek's in the wall. This will be an invalid lap time. That's 3 in a row. Moutre had an issue, I believe. I'm not sure who's. Someone may have spun out on the back straight. We're not sure who it was, but Moutre starting his first lap. Moutre and then Bryce Bohr. Oh, Moutre tags the wall again. Saw it in practice. It happens again here. And Moutre will not set a lap time. It's on Bohr, who's also in the wall. So Bohr will start from the back of the field too. Devastating qualifying times here. A lot of drivers that were looking decent in practice, not able to set a lap time. That's a lot of drivers that'll start at the back of the field. Alfred Denny will roll now. Starting to see some of the playoff drivers getting ready to set some of their times. You'll see that the cyan blue for Alfred Denny indicates that he is a playoff driver. We know how sketchy 1 and 2 are, but all the issues have been 3 and 4. Bohr set a lap time that I don't believe will count. We'll have to get clarification on that when we can. I don't believe Bohr's lap time should count here. For Denny, obviously, a clean lap here will be provisionally third, but I don't believe Bryce Bohr's lap time's on account here. So I believe Denny right now has second place, if my interpretation on the rules are correct here. Selena Thompson, likewise, goes fourth fastest. Pelletier Sharp now at the front of the field. She'll be the next to go in qualifying. It'll be Pelletier Sharp, then I believe William Britton. So Pelletier Sharp will take her first lap and try to qualify here at Darlington for the Southern 500. And a huge crash for Pelletier Sharp out of turn 2. William Britton on a lap here. So will Caitlin Hype. Caitlin Height on her lap. She was fourth fastest in practice. Almost tagged the wall there at 4, but didn't. Crossed the line. Make it P2. Arrowhead Racing currently top of the board. on the front row was 0 in height. Matthew Boone started his lap. Last season's champion has been on the ropes most of the second half of this season. Tags the wall. But we'll finish the lap here. See if it counts. 7 drivers at lap times. I believe 6 of them are valid. Would have to see if Bryce Bower's lap time is valid or not. He ran an extra lap. And Boone's lap time is invalidated. So Boone will not set a lap time. Gary Donaldson, we'll see what he can do. Had a good showing in the All-Star race at Atlanta a few weeks ago. We'll see what he can do here. And he's going to tag the wall in 3 and 4, and that's going to be an end to his qualifying run. Dalton Hayes on a lap time. He'll be behind, I believe, Zach McBride. There's Zach McBride, who had a whale of a time in practice earlier. Struggled mightily to keep that car underneath of him. We'll see if he can do anything about it. Rolling through the corner. Have to underdrive it a little bit. You only have 1 lap, and there's a lot of cars that did not set qualifying times. And he's going to have issues in 3 and 4 as well. Dalton Hayes, we'll see what he can do. Driver is going in a little too deep there in 3 and 4. Got to somehow find a way to keep it planted. But Dalton almost drifts up a little bit too far. Gets it back on the white line. Dalton Hayes. This should be a valid lap time. It will be. 3rd place. Zachary Meredith won at Charlotte to punch his ticket. But Meredith trying to get some heat into those tires. He believes that cold tires may be the reason why a lot of cars have not been able to set qualifying times. Meredith would like to break that. I see Hayes starting 3rd. There's a lot of cars that have set qualifying runs that are not gonna start anywhere close to the front. First lap underway for Meredith. Dean Clavitt on track as well. Keeping it tidy. Very good at turn 2. See who runs out right now. Dean Clavitt, opposite side of the racetrack. Meredith keeping it off the wall in 3 and 4. A complete lap here for Meredith. Where is it going to be? Toyota's at the front of the field. Meredith adds to it. Breaks up the Arrowhead 1-2. But still Toyota's now 1-2-3. Clavitt will finish his lap. And goes 4th. Swatsworth and Henderson will be up next. Swatsworth into the 4, won this race last season. Looks like Matt Smith will run a lap underway right now. Didn't see Matt Smith on our leaderboard. It's not going to matter. Tag the wall out of turn 2. So now Swatsworth will go. The Yingling, number 4. See what Spotsworth can do. Really smooth out of turn 2. Is it gonna be enough? Lap underway. Enough for 5th place. Henderson now. Did not make any friends last time out of Pocono, but still looking for his first win this season. Had 3 wins last season. Walked away with 4th place. Latency across the line, but 6th place is where he'll start, provisionally speaking. I believe he's actually going to be the last one to qualify. Dylan McDonald's not present, dealing with a personal matter. And Dustin Hall and Josh Gaiman, they will be starting from the back of the field. So that should be qualifying until we're lapped up. The only question we have is if Bryce Bower's lap time stands, and I guess we'll find that out here in a couple minutes. So there's the drivers that have set qualifying times. Zier, Meredith, Height, top 3. Clavitt 4th. Swatsworth, Henderson. Then Dalton Hayes 7th. Obviously, you have questions if Bryce Bower's lap time stands. If it does stand, he's going to be 8th. But that's going to do it for the race. That's going to do it for qualifying at least. Alrighty. So, this is an interesting situation that we're going to be in right now. So, there will be an intermission period here. Obviously, you see the pace car getting on track, but we're going to be doing a little bit of a lobby reshuffle here. Bryce Bohr's lap time did not count, as we so found out. But in handing out a penalty for the issue, they accidentally made it to where he couldn't take part in the race, which is not supposed to happen. So, there will be a reset here. There will be a couple minutes in between here where we will see everyone move to the new lobby, including us. So, bit of a whoopsie going on here. We will go over a little bit of the qualifying results here while we can, because they will disappear for us when we move. But you'll see the drivers set lap times here. Lilac Sears, Zachary Meredith, Caitlin Hike, Dean Clavitt, Shad Swatsworth, Blake Henderson, Dalton Hayes, Bryce Bohr. Bryce Bohr being the outlier here. His lap should not have counted, so he'll move to the back of the field. Then it'll be Alfred Denny, Selena Thompson, and Caleb Eichler. That's going to be your top 10. 12 car set lap times, only 11 of them will count, so William Britton will start at 11th place here. It's going to be an interesting start here. And then obviously you see the amount of cars that did not set lap times. Dustin Hall suffering a penalty, same with Josh Gaiman. Brandon Proudfoot hit the wall, Pelletier Sharp wrecked. Matthew Boone, Ryan Mooch, Ray Hunter Peach, Angel Santiago, Matt Smith. And so look a bit further down, obviously you see, if we can get that to scroll down all the way, see 24 cars, Sasek, Donaldson, and McBride. We talked about Gaiman already. He'll start near the back. A lot of shuffling will be going on here. But we're going to go to an intermission here in just a moment for a couple minutes to get everything situated and ready to go. So bear with us. The iRLC Southern 250 will be coming up shortly. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be a lot of fun. $184 laps this evening. Had amazing camera positioning outside the track there near the lake. That really kind of defines the track boundaries here. This track, its oblong shape, takes that way because of the lake outside of the track. Part of the history, part of the lore here at Darlington. Right on board with last season's winner, Chad Swatsworth. Number 20. I don't know why I said number 20. It's number 4. Ford Mustang. 2 career wins. One of them came here last season, hoping to break the winless streak. He's in the playoffs, and a race win would be monumental for getting into the round of 8. And that could have hurt significantly, but it didn't. Swatsworth got through, didn't even lift. Swatsworth feeling confident here at Darlington. Swatsworth doing a good job here, just kind of clicking laps away while everyone gets cycled in. Swatsworth lets it hang out there in turn 1 and 2. Got some heat in those tires and let it hang out. Not so much of it hanging out there for, I want to say it was the 22 of Donaldson. It may not have been. Angel Santiago having a little bit of a rough go at it, getting warmed up and ready to go. 27 of Eichler. Career best start in the series for the 27. Probably team-wide for Arrowhead Racing, the best start it's had in the HTL Cup Series. Lilac Zero be on pole position alongside Zachary Meredith. Caitlin Height will be in row number 2. We'll go over the starting grid here in a moment once we get to that stage. But everyone getting in, setting some lap times. We're seeing some drivers begin to run laps together as we get close to race conditions. Big ordeal. Being able to get some time around other cars. It's going to be very important for Josh Gaiman, the 61, who will have to come from the back of the field. Both him and Dustin Hall will, after being served penalties from Pocono. Lilac Sear, there is your pole sitter for the iRLC Southern 250. First lap in the books, set a safe lap in qualifying. But it was enough for pole position in a session where only 11 cars set valid lap times. It'd be monumental to see how that 96 can hold up throughout 184 laps tonight. Three stages in this race, as always. Lap 50 and lap 100 will be the stage breaks. Hunter Peach, currently the fastest in warm-up. Pull that information up on your screen now. About 30 minutes of warm-up. We're not going to see all 30 minutes here. They're just letting everyone get in and join the new session here and get set up and ready to go before they advance everything. There'll be 24 cars tonight, so same size field we had at Pocono last week. Again, this one just kind of waiting and seeing here. Looks like we're going to get the go-ahead to grid in 2 minutes. So we're about 3 minutes from the start of this race. Peach practicing pit entry. That'll be important. There's Dustin Hall, who's in a must-win situation for the number 3. We'll see the checkered flag fall any moment now. And the 2 drivers that will be coming from the back of the field are currently the fastest in warm-up. Gaiman and Hall, 1st and 4th. As Proudfoot goes for a spin as the checkered flag falls. Alrighty, here's the starting grid for the iRLC Southern 250. Lilac Sear and Zach Meredith on the front row ahead of Caitlin Height and Dean Clavitt. That's your top 4. And you see a lot of the cyan colors on the numbers. Those are a lot of playoff drivers in the top 8. 7 in the top 8. So you're the only omission from that. But she'll start from pole position. Swatsworth Henderson in row 3. They'll be ahead of Dalton Hayes and Alfred Denny in row 4. Selena Thompson, first top 10 start in HTL competition alongside Caleb Eichler, who will also share a similar stat line. Best career starts for both of them in this series. William Britton and Brandon Proudfoot make up row number 6. As we work our way down to the second page of drivers here, Lily Pautier Sharp, Matthew Boone make up row 7. Row 8 is Ryan Moutre and Hunter Peach. Row 9, Matt Smith and Eli Sasek. Row 10, Gary Donaldson and Zach McBride. Bryce Bohr and Dustin Hall were round out near the back of the field. Bohr having a penalty from qualifying. Dustin Hall having a penalty from Pocono. Same with Santiago and Josh Gaiman. But there's your 24 cars this evening. Track temp's gone down. It was 112. It's now 92 degrees Fahrenheit. And the wind has gone down a little bit too, but it'll still be very brisk here at Darlington. The single formation lap. As everything gets ready to go. Again, for those tuning in, I'm Carmen Sienna. Welcome you all to playoff action for the HTL Cup Series. It's Sear, Meredith, Height, and Clavitt on the front 2 rows. Almost showtime. As they get ready to go, pace car pulls off into pit lane. In the iRLC Southern 250 is underway. We're green and rocking at Darlington. We're green at Darlington here. And we'll see how quickly things fan out. And the issue for William Britton Not what we want to see early on for the 72 car. As he drops to the back of the field. Likewise, Zachary Meredith makes it to the front of the field. He gets to the lead. Zier sitting in second. Caitlin Height in third. See how quickly these teammates work together. With Height quickly moving out of Zier. May have been some teamwork there. Zier not in the championship conversation. Caitlin Height very much is. And Zier will begin that descent backwards a little bit. Driving safe in the 96. But not really fighting to offer much more position. Now with Blake Henderson that goes to 5th and moves Zier out of the top 5. But Zier doing a really good job, as she did on Friday. Car is fanning out there a little bit further back. Proudfoot being passed by Selena Thompson and Matthew Boone. Proudfoot a race winner at Gateway. But struggling to get into the top 10 here. Peltier Sharp behind them. Early going has been phenomenal. I think a lot better than people anticipated based off of practice, but it's going to be cars together. Alliance cars there, the 99 of Sasek and the 23 of Peach got together. And Peach ended up worse for wear. As we browse down through the field. Looking over the back here, there's a caution out for a car spun. And that is the 18 of Proudfoot. So the first caution comes out on lap 7 for a spin involving the 18 of Brandon Proudfoot. And we'll see what happened here. This is coming out of turn 2. Did Peltier Sharp get into him? No, he bobbles early. Oh, a little bit of contact with both Selena Thompson and Lily Peltier Sharp. But he had started bobbling before that point. I'm going on board with him here. Overall, light contact there for the 18. But the first caution of the night. Leaves Zachary Meredith ahead of Caitlin Height, Dean Clavitt, and Shad Swatsworth. On this restart is next to nobody came in the top 15. No one in the top 15. Gaiman came down pit lane, but served a drive through. So he served his penalty. Dustin Hall will come down pit lane, as will William Britton, Proudfoot, Santiago, and Peltier Sharp. One driver out early is Caleb Eichler. So we'll have 23 cars left running here. The first caution of the night. Obviously, a relatively harmless caution here. But a good opening 7 laps for everyone to kind of shake themselves off and figure out what they've got here early on. Stage 1 does not end until lap 50, so there'll be a lot of time left. They're going double file here, which means we're going green at the end of this lap. It'll be Meredith, Height, Swatsworth, Clavitt. Front 4 here tonight when we take the first restart of this race. Henderson, Zier make up row 3. Denny and Hayes make up row 4. They have extended the caution by a lap for a spinning William Britton, which has seen Pelletier Sharp go back to pit lane. William Britton's still rolling around. He's at the very tail end of the field. So we'll try it again here at the end of this lap. Going through turns 3 and 4 now to complete lap 12. Pace car pulls in. And it's time to go. Green flag back in the air. Meredith with a really good start. Gives Clavitt a launch as well, so Clavitt moves to second. Cars tagging the wall further behind, but no issues yet. Good, gotta keep an eye as everyone moves to the field here. A couple drivers at the very tail end, Gaiman and Hall in particular, trying to make their way forward. You're seeing Dustin Hall get around Santiago. Everyone's sorting in. Side by side. It's Hall and Moutre. As Josh Gaiman attacks, that is Matt Smith in the 29. And then Hunter Peach in the 23 in front of Gaiman here. So both Hall and Gaiman trying to make their way forward. Hall's going to tag the wall, and there's already trouble. And that's not going to be any better. It's Santiago that was spinning first, I believe. Santiago, and actually, no, may have been William Britton. William Britton is spinning. A lot of cars. With an issue there. I'm not sure who started it there. Second caution of the night out of turn 2. Obviously, we see Dustin Hall. We're going to see if we can find out who it was that spun first. Santiago was behind Hall, but ahead of Proudfoot. Was it Zach McBride? McBride behind Proudfoot. Not sure who it was that spun there to begin with. We'll have to see if we can look our way forward. See if we can kind of get an idea as to who spun. It was up ahead here. Oh, it was Selena Thompson. Selena Thompson's the one who spun. Didn't pop up on our register that she was part of the accident, but here she is. Ahead of Eli Sasek. And tags the wall, bounces, and around she goes. And then obviously you see the melee behind. Obviously, we'll see from Santiago's perspective here. Relatively all minor contact, all things considered. Dustin Hall coming out of pit lane. It's going to put him a little bit further back here. And we'll see if he gets put into the wall. I don't believe he did. He just kind of drifts up on his own. And him bouncing off the wall is what triggers the majority of this. But we'll go a little bit further back here if we can. Because he's on the bottom. And we'll look back here, just in front of Moutre. Hall was already pushing high there, and Moutre already had a run, but Hall was already tight. So Dustin Hall will have to come from 21st once again. Pelletier Sharp still in pit lane. Pelletier Sharp actually out of this race, excuse me, after only 10 laps. So, 2 retirements already. So Meredith at the front of the field has led most of this race after taking the lead from Lilac Zier at the start. It'll be Meredith, Zier. Both of them had not yet come down pit lane. And then Josh Gaiman, who also has not pit since his drive-through penalty. So Gaiman's made his way up to the field. This is going to be interesting. Top 3 have not yet pit. Then it's Height, Clavitt, Swatsworth, Peach, Hayes, Henderson, and Bohr. Pace car pulls in. Second restart of the night. And away we go. Green flag in the air. Huge, massive cars going through turns 1 and 2, side by side. 3 wide for a second. Henderson got smothered on that restart. Henderson falls backwards. Henderson blinking a little bit in this mass of cars. Peach behind. Dalton Hayes in front. You see there's a breakaway. The top 6 with Swatsworth in 6th place, rounding at the rear of this top line. Slotsworth trying to work on Lilac Zier. Lilac Zier is still in really good real estate right now. But interestingly, Meredith and Gaiman still at the front of the field. And it's not even really that close. Those two have not yet pit, but they are pulling away from Dean Clavitt and Caitlin Height. Top 2 trying to walk away a little bit. They are on 16-lap older tires than Clavitt and Height. But they are making it work right now. They've opened up a second gap on Clavitt and Height. Zier's holding on to him. So is the 4 of Swatsworth. Swatsworth trying to get around Zier. And will do so. Running aboard Swatsworth. Zier in tow. Look further back, you can see this melee, this mass of cars. This is outside the top 15. This is battling for the top 15. With Denny, Santiago, Moutre, Sasek, and Dustin Hall all involved in this one. Santiago trying to get around Moutre. Santiago tags the wall hard. But Santiago holds on to the 14th spot. Now for Denny trying to get around Moutre, and will do so. Hey, Dustin Hall will go through as well. So Hall moves up to 16. Keep an eye on Hall. He's in a must-win situation to move on to the round of 8. Must win tonight. But at the front of the field, a lot more relaxed and composed for the race leaders, Zach Meredith and Josh Gaiman. Gaiman had to serve a drive-through at the start of this race. Did so. And let everyone else take shape. And now he's sitting in second place. Just shadowing the race winner from Charlotte earlier this year. Gap has opened up over a second and a half. As Clavitt now sits ahead of Swatsworth, who's got ahead of Caitlin Height. Caitlin Height getting a little bit frustrated being behind the 2 and now the 4. Points leader and regular season champion. Sitting steady in 5th at the moment. Riding on board with her. Trying to keep it as smooth as possible here. As they follow through. You see the race leaders up ahead. Gap's moving up to almost 2 seconds. So we got a leader, we got a lead pack of 2, then a trio of cars, then another trio of cars, because there's Bohr, Boone, and Zier. Zier beginning to fall back a little bit, feeling the age of those tires. Then you have Matt Smith leading another Congo line with Hayes and Henderson, Proudfoot, and Peach all in that main line, and then Angel Santiago trying to push through despite suffering a little bit of damage after tagging the wall a few laps ago. Trouble. That is trouble. It's Henderson. Henderson got in trouble there, and he was blinking a little bit. A little latency could have been involved in that, but Henderson all the way back down to 15th. Are they about to catch lap traffic? In about a few laps they will be. Zach McBride will be the first one to go a lap down on track. Peltier Sharp still rolling, I believe. But 21 cars still on the lead out. Peltier Sharp back in pit lane. That may be race over for her. Trying to get our overlay system back up here. Looks like it has had a little bit of a crash. But right now, it's still Zach Meredith and Josh Gaiman. They've gotten around Zach McBride to put him a lap down. We are on lap 39 of 183. And the cautions come out. Cautions come out for an incident. It's involving William Britton. And he is immediately towed back to pit lane. What happens here? Oh, he just tags the... Ooh, hard hits to the wall. Hits where it juts out there. Obviously, debris on track. William Britton comes to a stop in the middle of the track. So third caution of the night takes place on lap 41. And now I'd imagine we would see the likes of Meredith and Gaiman come down pit lane. Who's coming in? Who stays out? With the stage break coming imminently, Swatsworth stays out. Height stays out. So will Clappett. Boone, Smith, Proudfoot, Henderson, they all stay out. See, Zach McBride got his lucky dog. He got his free pass, so he got one of his laps back. But he will not be on the lead lap. He pinned on lap 34, so he lost a couple laps. But he puts himself in a good position to where when the stage break comes out on lap 50, he'll get his other lap back. William Britton, the undercar, is still also a lap down. May be out of this race for good. And he will join Pelletier, Sharp, Thompson, and Eichler being out of this race. For the third caution of the night. Or for the... I believe it's third caution of the night. Yeah, it is third caution of the night. Going green at the end of this lap. Swatsworth, Height, Clavitt, Boone, the front of the field for what will be a 6-lap shootout to end stage 1. Then Smith, Proudfoot, Henderson, Bourne, Meredith, and Denny round out the top 10. Pace car will take the left on the pit lane. It'll be on Swatsworth and Height's control when they get to the restart zone. 6 laps to go in stage 1 when they cross start finish line. Green flag in the air and away we go. Coming to 5 to go. How much do you want stage points? Swatsworth, last season's race winner here at Darlington, trying to kick off the night in style. Has a good chance to do so, pulling away a little bit from Clavitt and Height. Do not ignore the 83 of Matthew Boone, sitting in 4th place. As Height and Clavitt go side by side. Clavitt tags the wall a little bit. There'll be 4 to go. At the line, Height gets loose out of 4. She'll lose 2nd place and may lose 3rd. Boone backs out of it a little bit. Carr is tagging the wall. That was Alfred Denny that tagged the wall. Carr in the wall in the inside lane. It's Dalton Hayes and Zach McBride. Caution does not come out. We stay green. 3 to go in the stage. Swatsworth, Clavitt, Height, Boone. The front of the field. And Swatsworth had set sail to end this stage. Top 3 did not pit. Neither did Boone or Smith. And Zachary Meredith already trying to make his way up through the field. Already back up to 4th. Fresh tires do matter, especially when it's a 30-lap difference. But with 2 laps to go in the stage, Meredith has spent just too much time trying to get through the field. But Meredith has that grip. Big time grip there for Meredith. He goes to 2nd. Coming to the white flag in stage 1, it's all about Shad Swatsworth. With Meredith 2nd and a battle for 3rd between Clavitt and Height. Those two have been back and forth several times this season, but Clavitt's going to have the advantage on the back straightaway. They battle hard behind near the edge of the top 10. But it will be Shad Swatsworth. At turn 4, he will win stage 1. Ahead is Zach Meredith, Dean Clavitt, and Caitlin Height. Josh Gaiman ended up getting the last stage point, I believe. Indeed he did. Last stage point for Josh Gaiman. And Dustin Hall getting to the top 10. Got 8th place there for Team Conti. So stage 1 ends here, and now a lot of drivers see what they do. They may just top up the fuel here. Obviously, the likes of Swatsworth and Clavitt and Meredith will come down and top off here. Obviously, Swatsworth will take tires. They did not pit on that 3rd caution. Dustin Hall becomes the only driver to stay out, but he makes it to the front. That's where he needs to be. Dustin Hall will lead us to the green flag here. So to start off stage 2, he pit on lap 41. So we'll see how he holds off here. But now he's going to have the most important thing here, and that's clean air. He's going to have that real estate. That is a huge ordeal. William Britton is out. You see the list of those that were retired. William Britton, Lily Pelletier Sharp, Selena Thompson, and Caleb Eichler all out of this race. Zero is back down pit lane. Zach McBride still in pit lane getting repairs done. And Dalton Hayes will be a lap down here as we get ready to come to the green flag to start off stage 2. Kind of breaking things down as we get ready to see one to go in this caution. Meredith, Gaiman, Santiago, and Peach all took fuel only. Eli Sasek took 2 tires. Everyone else took 4. Going great at the end of this lap. It's Hall, Meredith, Santiago, Gaiman at the front of the field. Gonna be a very interesting stage 2. Stage 1 had 3 cautions, and we lost 4 cars in it. How does stage 2 turn out? Stage 2 will go into lap 100. But it's Dustin Hall, the silver bullet, that'll lead the way to green. Kicking off stage 2. Green flag in the air, and away we go. Back underway here at Darlington. Car spun, Swatsworth. Gets to a complete stop, but gets rolling once again. That's Swatsworth in the 4. All the way down now to 17th. Dustin Hall, older tires just by a little bit. Warm up a little bit easier as well. He's going to try to use that advantage to get away from those behind. Santiago gets loose. Got it the second, but got loose. He'll lose a spot, maybe 2. He will lose another spot. He'll lose to Gaiman. Gaiman back up to 3rd. A little bit of frenzy to kick off stage 2. Dustin Hall set the fastest lap of the race, 29.53. The Team Conti driver is in a must-win position, and he knows it. And he's trying to let it go. Opened up almost a second on Zach Meredith. That gap will eventually crawl back down. But right now, Dustin Hall has the advantage. Dustin Hall doing a really good job so far. Spent most of stage 1 near the back of the field. Climbed up to 8th by the finish of stage 1. And now here he is. As Meredith and Gaiman go side by side. Hall's not going to complain about that too awful much. Dustin Hall opened up a 1.3 second gap on his own. Josh Gaiman now in second, though. He's going to try to reel him in. Meredith in third. Then fourth, Hunter Peach. Fifth, Angel Santiago. But Santiago having to deal with the 11 of Caitlin Height. Height will use the outside lane to get the advantage going into turns 1 and 2, and she'll take 5th place. Santiago will slot in at 6th. Then Proudfoot. And you see the accordion behind the 18 of Proudfoot. It's Proudfoot, Sasek, Boone, Henderson, Clavitt, all in this group, as is Matt Smith and Bryce Bohr. I believe Alfred Denny may be at the very tail end of this group, too. Proudfoot trying to make a move on Santiago. Trouble a little bit for the back. I believe that's Eli Sasek that got loose out of 4. And he'll drop out of the top 10. Working around, that is Angel Santiago, who's falling back quickly. And I believe he's trying to get out of the way of Alfred Denny here. Well, it looks like he tied the wall. Looks like Eli Sasek's tied the wall just a little bit as well. It has sorted itself out pretty well here. Josh Gaiman clawing back in Dustin Hall. Fresh tires are beginning to come into play here as we complete lap 67 at 183. Again, everyone's racing to the stage break, which is lap 100. So that is the main objective here tonight. One stage at a time. Dustin Hall doing not too bad, though, seeing as how he started this race in 23rd spot. He has led every lap of stage 2 so far, but Josh Gaiman's going to try to put an end to that. Hunter Peach in 3rd, Zach Meredith in 4th. Teammates there for NFG Motorsports. Peach is the highest running non-playoff car in the field. Dustin Hall's keeping the gap between 6 and 8 tenths. Really good run so far by the number 3 for Team Conti. Really good job so far riding on board with Dustin Hall. Let's see if we can get a good look at where Josh Gaiman is behind him. You can see he's definitely in the mirror. This is from the mirror of Dustin Hall as Hall drives through the corner. Unusual circumstance where we can see the drivers' faces in the helmets. Typically, in the daytime races, there'll be a tinted visor. The visors are clear tonight. Show you where everyone is at on track right now at the moment. Very orderly, very procedural. Giving everyone a chance to actually go through and have a strategy here in stage 2 so far. But Dustin Hall leading the way still. He's opened the gap up by 1.1 seconds. Doing a good job so far. Josh Gaiman sitting in second. That's a car coming out of pit lane. Believe it was Dalton Hayes. I may be mistaken on that. I thought it was Dalton Hayes. That was indeed not Dalton Hayes. It was somebody else. Dalton Hayes is just ahead. He's on his own here in 18th position. Not been a racer member for him. He's in the playoffs, but he is now, with Talladega Nights Ben, he's going to be in a dangerous situation come Talladega next week. And he's tagged the wall once again. So Dustin Hall, the race leader, will end up having to come to him pretty quickly to put him another lap down. Dalton Hayes on lap 60, Dustin Hall on lap 73, coming to 74. As you see the timing screen off on the left-hand side. Dalton Hayes, first car off the lead lap, but not where you want to be. That gap between Hall and Gaiman steady at 1.1, 1.2 seconds now. Dustin Hall has opened up a brand new gear as now Hunter Peach tries to enter the fray to battle for second place. Hunter Peach has gotten into second place thanks to Josh Gaiman coming down pit lane. There's Josh Gaiman, center of your screen, making his pit stop. Early pit stall here, having started at the back of the field. He will go a lap down early pit stops early on. Oh, Hall in the wall. Hall's in the wall hard. Oh no, Dustin Hall. Huge contact with the outside wall in turns 3 and 4. It's given Hunter Peach the race lead. And Dustin Hall's championship hopes have all but sunk. Huge contact. Oh, and there's trouble. There's trouble on the front straightaway, and that's Sasek. Caution comes out, and that may bail out Dustin Hall. But Eli Sasek got T-boned hard. Hunter Peach had just come down pit lane. Oh no, Dustin Hall. Heartbreaking fashion. It's been covered before, but Dustin Hall won't be present at Talladega next week. He needed to win the night. And that won't be the case. Huge, huge trouble tonight for Dustin Hall, I should say. Obviously, everyone that had not already taken pit stops will be in pit lane here. We'll see if we can figure out what happened there to Dustin Hall. We have a lot to do here, and obviously we're going to take a look here. Dustin Hall. Going to be heartbreaking for him. Car just snaps. He's complaining of a technical issue with that car. And just like that, championship ambitions have come to a grinding halt for Team Conti. And then obviously we'll see what happens with Eli Sasek here, because Eli Sasek was loose coming out of 4. What happens is Sasek tags the wall out of 2. Slides, locks it down, didn't get it completely locked down, tags Santiago. I thought that was Alfred Denny that got a piece of it. That was not. Who got a piece of Eli Sasek? Who was that? Jump forward here. Oh, was that Swatsworth? That was Swatsworth. Oh, no. Swatsworth got a huge piece of it. Yeah, it's the Yangling, number 4. Swatsworth, also another favorite for this race. Suffering damage in this one. Wow. That flips everything upside down. Several cars on pit lane. Donaldson, Moutre, Hall, Santiago, McBride. Lilac Sears race effectively over after she had an accident coming down pit lane. It'll leave 11 cars on the lead lap. Kalen Height, Matthew Boone, Brandon Proudfoot, top 3. Henderson, Smith, Clavitt, Denny, Gaiman, Swatsworth coming back down pit lane. And Zach Meredith, top 10. A lot of cars already nursing injuries. And we have not crossed the halfway point yet. The halfway point is lap 92. 11 cars on the lead lap. Dustin Hall still in pit lane getting repairs. Swatsworth comes back out, but a lap down. Pace car pulls in. It's Height, Boone, Proudfoot, Henderson, top 4. Green flag back in the air. The lights are on. You see the camera flashes. But away we go. Less than 20 laps until the end of stage 2. Crash on the back straightaway. Not sure who it was. Matt Smith coming down pit lane. As is Schatz. Wadsworth coming back down pit lane. Height and Proudfoot. We've seen this battle before. We saw it at Kentucky. Best race of the season. One of the best races ABN's seen all year. Came down between these two drivers. And they're back at it again. Cars tagging the wall. Another car in the wall. That was Zach Meredith. Went all the way down to the apron. So he's struggling now. He was another favorite. The lights have come on. The track's gotten cooler. And everyone has lost a little bit of the pulse to how this track was evolving. But it's Height and Proudfoot leading the way. They open up a second over Clavitt. Clavitt in third. Matthew Boone, the defending series champion, in fourth. Then Henderson, Denny, Gaiman, and Meredith, top 8. Matt Smith, Shad Swatsworth, Dustin Hall, Dalton Hayes, all in significant trouble going into Talladega next week. And for Dustin Hall, it's you may as well say curtains on a championship contending run. Caitlin Height. Leading the way at a Proudfoot, Clavitt, Matthew Boone, and Blake Henderson. This is the battle for third place. Clavitt, Boone, Henderson, Gaiman, and Meredith all in this conversation. Actually, Meredith's all the way back here. Third little group here between Denny and Meredith. A good run so far for Alfred Denny. This is what he needed to look into the next round. Battle for third continuing. Clavitt has it. Then Boone and Henderson. Caitlin Heights opened up just a little bit of a gap to Proudfoot. They've been nose to tail most of the stage, though, coming to 5 laps to go. Tag of the wall there with Proudfoot. Both of them getting loose there. Pressure's on to win stage 2. First car lap down in the free pass position is Bryce Bohr. So Bohr would make it 10 cars on the lead lap. Proudfoot losing a little bit of time here with 4 laps to go. Clavitt in third. Then Boone, Henderson, Gaiman top 6. Side by side, Boone and Henderson. Henderson trying to get to go. 3 to go. Still side by side. Really good run by Henderson. Haven't seen Henderson run this good since Charlotte. Charlotte was the last time we saw him run really this well, consistently. Henderson dropping back a little bit. We'll lose a little bit of time to Josh Gaiman, who's not going to give him a lot of space here. Henderson's going to think better of it, going to let Gaiman go through. Gaiman's in a rougher position than Henderson is. 2 to go in stage 2. Very much an attrition event this evening. White flag in stage 2. Next time by will be the end of stage 2. And right now it's in Caitlin Heights' possession, who has opened up a 1.7 second gap on Brandon Proudfoot. And Proudfoot's going to be looking forward to the stage break. Oh, in trouble! Boone and Clavitt get turned! And Henderson's involved. And there's Bohr. Caution's out. Bohr's not going to be the lucky dog position. It'll be Gary Donaldson that will get it. And the stage ends early for contact between Matt Smith and Dean Clavitt. Clavitt holds on to 5th. Boone in 4th. Gaiman takes 3rd. Then it's Meredith, Peach, Denny, and Henderson. Oh, dear. We'll see what happens here. We'll go back a little bit. So this is kind of running down the back straightaway. And we'll slow it down. We'll actually go to our chopper cam here. Clavitt, I don't know if that's netcode or not, but they're hugging it really tight, racing to the line for the stage. Clavitt gets turned. Boone goes down to the apron. Gaiman shoots the gap in the middle and gets away with it. Henderson, nothing he can do. He's on the outside lane, nowhere he can go. And this is where it just gets heartbreaking. Was an impossibility for Bryce Bohr to get the lucky dog. And that was completely thrown out of the window. I don't think it's a block by Dean. I don't think it's anything malicious by either driver. I think they're racing hard, entering turn 3 there. And, you know, they're racing back to the stage. And unfortunately there, it just didn't really pay off for any of them. But you look here, Boone's going to have a really good run out of turn 2. You see the 83 in the 2, Boone in the 83, Cloud in the 2. Boone side drafting here a little bit. You see him side drafting, and we saw this a little bit at Pocono. We haven't seen it so often much tonight. But getting ready to reach the turn, Cloud just has no room to turn in. Boone gets away with it. Clavitt doesn't. Henderson, unfortunate bystander, as is Bryce Bohr, who's going to have the most unfortunate view of this one. Henderson just blocking the track, and Bohr can't do anything. He's already on the bottom. He can't shoot up the track. He can't go lower. That's unfortunate there. So Clavitt comes down for more repairs. Matt Smith will stay out. Try to get a wave around, I believe. Try to get one of his laps back. He's in 14th place at the moment. But for Caitlin Height, another stage win. And most of the favorites tonight no longer in contention. Swatsworth laps down. Dustin Hall out of this race. Gaiman may have a challenge here. Meredith had damage. So we'll see how competitive that 39 car is. There'll be 10 cars on the lead lap with the addition of Gary Donaldson, who was the free pass recipient under the Stage 2 break. Stage 3 will begin here with 10 cars on the lead lap, 2 cars, 1 lap down. Matt Smith is 12 laps down. Swatsworth 14 laps down. And Bryce Bohr in pit lane may end up being out of this race once again. Season to forget for Bryce Bohr so far, and it continues. Pace car pulls off into pit lane as they approach the Geico restart zone. Stage 3 is underway. Green flag in the air, and away we go. Everyone's settling down a little bit here. Longest stage of the night. This stage will run to the finish. Caitlin Height and Josh Gaiman, 2 of the juggernauts in this series. And potentially the 2 juggernauts battling for the championship at the end of the season. They went side by side. Gaiman wants the lead and he'll take it. And Meredith follows through as well. They'll stay side by side. It's Arrowhead versus NFG. The top 2 Toyota teams in the series. Caution's out. Santiago. And that is a wrecked race car on the back straightaway. Swatsworth involved in it again. Here's what happened. Santiago, did he get a bump by Boone? No, Swatsworth bounced off the wall. Oh, and Mutra got a piece of it too. So those are the 2 cars that were a lap down. Obviously, Swatsworth several laps down. Swatsworth tied the wall. Kind of pull up a different angle here as they come out of turn 2. We'll play it in slow motion. Swatsworth just bounces off the wall here out of the exit of 2. Right across the nose of Santiago. Santiago gets shot across. And Boone helps Swatsworth around. 100%. Boone almost got Henderson again. Obviously, look at Ryan Moutre. He got a piece of it, nosing into Swatsworth there. Santiago missing the entire front end of his car. And this race just gets longer and longer for Santiago. We are down to a slim few here at Darlington. It's been a race of attrition, but 7th caution of the night here in Stage 3. Lap 110 of 183. We'll go through the running order real quick as we get ready to go back to green for the 7th restart of the night. Josh Gaiman, Kalen Height, Alfred Denny, Matthew Boone, the top 4 in this race. The Zach Meredith, Hunter Peach, Brandon Proudfoot, Gary Donaldson, Dean Clavitt, and Blake Henderson, the top 10. Those are the 10 cars on the lead lap. Angel Santiago, 1 lap down, the only car 1 lap down. Ryan Moutre will come back out 3 laps down. Bryce Borer still in pit lane, has not completed a lap beyond lap 100. Matt Smith still rolling, is in 14th, and Swatsworth 15th, and McBride in 16th. Dustin Hall, Eli Sasek, Dalton Hayes, Lilac Zier. Lilac Zier is actually rolling again, but she's down in 20th, having only completed 56 laps so far. Britton, Pelletier, Sharp, Thompson, and Eichler all out of this race. But it's Gaiman and Height at the front of the field. Gaiman on control. Green flag back in the air, and a really good restart by Gaiman. We're back underway here at Darlington. Gaiman and Height lead the way. Coming to 70 laps to go. Top three are separate themselves. Gaiman, Height, and Boone, their top three are kind of getting in the way. Hunter Peach holding the floodgates here with Proudfoot and Denny behind. Denny falling backwards, but Denny's still on a really good run here tonight at Darlington. Meredith will get around Denny as well. Denny just kind of falling in line wherever he can. He is in a really good spot right now with how the night's gone. That's Proudfoot that almost lost it on the back straightaway. Gary Donaldson in 10th place on the lead lap. But the Tombstone drivers 9th and 10th are not 100%. That's a car. It's a little bit off pace there. That is Zach McBride. That was on the apron on the front straightaway. Just letting drivers go by. He's just collecting laps here and trying to poach positions. Bryce Boyer, the next car in front of him, that has not come back out on track. Less than 70 laps to go here at Darlington. It's the iRLC Southern 250. Race 2 of 3 in the round of 12 for the HTL Cup Series playoffs. For those that are new, those that are kind of just tuning in, those that are in the cyan blue numbers, those are playoff contending drivers. Those in the dark blue and white, they are not in the playoffs. So Gaiman, Height, Boone, they are in the playoffs. Peach and Proudfoot are not. For those that are confused about why there's different colors on the leaderboard. Gaiman leads the way from Caitlin Height and Matthew Boone. Hunter Peach sits in fourth ahead of Brandon Proudfoot. On the wall, Clavitt tags the wall just a little bit. Josh Gaiman leads the way from Caitlin Height. Looking at this battle for the 6th position between Brandon Proudfoot and Dean Clavitt, with Zach Meredith in 5th, just ahead of them. This is the closest battle on track at the moment, but not by much. Up at the front, Caitlin Heights reeled back in Josh Gaiman. Caution's out. And it's for Proudfoot and Clavitt. So one of the two major battles on track in the lead lap cars has turned sour in a hurry. And Clavitt is out of this race. Proudfoot's still rolling, but he does not look 100%. Here's why. Oh, Clavitt got into him and... Ooh. It's a little bump and run that went completely wrong. And both cars, you see the front right on Proudfoot's machine. That toe link is completely snapped on the 18, and I'm pretty sure it's probably snapped in the same way on the number 2 for Clavitt. Go on board with Clavitt here. Sailing into 3 and 4. Slight tap. And you see the damage on Proudfoot's car. That front right's completely destroyed, as is the front right on Clavitt's car. And you see Clavitt just can't keep rolling. And we'll go on board with Proudfoot. So Proudfoot in pit lane getting probably extensive repairs. He's probably off the lead lap now. Clavitt's race is effectively over. That gives us 9 cars on the lead lap. Actually, probably 8 cars with both Proudfoot and Clavitt falling off the lead lap here. I'm willing to probably bet that's at least 8 cars now on the lead lap. Attrition's been the name of the game. Going green at the end of this lap for the 8th restart of the night. Pace car is in, and the green flag is out for the 8th restart of this race. Josh Gaiman, Caitlin Height, Hunter Peach, Zach Meredith lead the way. Gaiman, another really good restart. Tag of the wall there by Meredith. And he's going to get smothered behind all the lead lap cars and now behind some of the lap down cars. Thrown from 4th to 8th in 1 lap. Gaiman leads the way. Caitlin Height sits 2nd. Hunter Peach, the highest non-playoff driver, now in 3rd. Henderson tags the wall. He'll lose a little bit of time to Matthew Boone. Anderson a little bit loose there. You saw him bobble a little bit through 1 and 2. Henderson looking for 4th place potentially. Battling with the defending series champion. There we go, side by side at 4. Meredith back ahead of Donaldson, behind Alfred Denny. Henderson to 4th place. Coming to 50 laps to go. A little bit of latency there by Henderson. But he's pulling away from Matthew Boone, trying to chase down now Hunter Peach. Henderson finished 2nd at Gateway. That was his best finish of the season. But Gateway, we know, was very much a caution-filled event, so not a lot of racing took place. He finished 4th last week at Pocono, and that's where he's at right now. But looking for 1 spot higher, and he's going to chase down the NFG car of Hunter Peach to make that happen. Josh Gaiman just set the best lap of the race, so 29.47. Henderson trying to get around Hunter Peach. Hunter Peach has a 1.6 second gap to Henderson. We'll see if that gap collapses any, or if it stays steady at 1.6. It may need a pit stop to alter things up a little bit. Henderson's not at 100%. His car has had its share of incidents tonight. But 4th place, not a bad shout. Josh Gaiman, however, holds on to the race lead. Kalen Height in 2nd. Hunter Peach looking for his first podium in the series. Has 3 podiums in the ABN Champ Car competition. Still looking for his first here in the HTL. Then it's Henderson, Boone, Meredith, Denny, and Donaldson, the 8 cars on the lead lap. Ryan Moutre would have the free pass position if a caution comes out between now and the end of the race. Moutre, the only car within 2 laps of the leaders here. Santiago, 10 laps down, having to make a lot of repairs on his number 90. Matt Smith, 12 laps down. Swatsworth, 15 laps down. McBride, 19 laps down. Zier, 53 laps down. Those are the cars still rolling on track. A lot of cars either still getting repairs or completely out of this race. As the laps tick away, we know there's a pit stop in this race still. They cannot stretch it from lap 125, which is when they all pit last. They cannot make it to the end of the race. Damon's got a 2nd lead over Kalen Height. The gap between Peach and Henderson has come down. Oh, it's a car low on the track. That was Santiago, who almost came up in front of the leaders. Luckily, crisis averted, but Santiago almost had a very bad experience coming down pit lane. But he makes it safely. It's Gaiman, Height, Peach, Henderson, Boone, top 5. Track map on the right side of your screen tells you where all the cars on track are at right now. Gaiman, Height, Peach, top 3 still. Peach is closing in on Height now. Peach was faster than everyone on the lead lap combined. So Peach trying to make his way forward. Height closed down to less than a second. 7/10 now the gap. Height sitting a good margin. We know pit stops are coming imminently, within the next 10 laps. McBride gets off the track, rolls down the bottom. Just trying to stay out of the way of the race leaders. McBride's done a good job just poaching positions. He's up to 13th. Proudfoot's officially out of this race. Clavitt unofficially out. Only car still running behind that is Lilac Zier. And Zier should have the ability, if things go well, to gain those positions before the end of this race. The pole sitter had a really rough time at the end of stage 1. Looking at the race lead and the battle for it, which will become very strategic here in a moment. Gaiman has it, Height wants it, so does Hunter Peach, and they're all 3 in your screen. Henderson's lost 4th place again to Matthew Boone. So there's a battle for 4th place. And Boone's beginning to slip away here. Henderson, I think, used way too much of his stuff, and I think Henderson's still wounded here a little bit. Boone gets a little loose out of turn 4, but holds on to it. Now they'll have to try to navigate Zach McBride. McBride got loose there, but it's convenient enough it moves everyone out of the way, as Henderson now under threat from Meredith. All of this is happening 4 seconds behind the leading trio of this race. And Gaiman has to start thinking about Ryan Moutre. Undercuts were the name of the game last year when they came to Darlington. Who's going to blink first? Ryan Moutre comes in, but Ryan Moutre won't have much of an effect on the race leaders here. Peach is on a charge. Has pulled within 1.2 seconds, and Peach comes in. Peach elects to come in now. And he'll take a very safe approach to turn to the pit lane. Now it's on. Because Peach was the fastest car on track, and he just came down pit lane. Oh, it's going to be spicy. He took a very safe approach to the pit lane. How spicy do they get between Gaiman and Height regarding pit entry? They stay out this lap. Here we go. Gaiman comes in. Height stays out. Height comes in and a lot more aggressive of an entry. A lot more aggressive of an entry. That may pay dividends. Henderson will take the lead here. So new race leader Blake Henderson. That's Lilac Zier behind. Lilac Zier, obviously 55 laps down. Oh, Henderson got really loose. Or tagged the one, got loose. Has to make sure he didn't break anything there. Alfred Denny and Gary Donaldson also have not yet pit. Oh, this is going to be interesting to see where Caitlin Height comes out compared to Josh Gaiman. Here's Caitlin Height coming out of the pit lane on the warm-up lane. And very well clear. Clear of Gaiman, clear of Peach. That aggressive pit entry is what sealed the deal. Now they need to hope a caution doesn't come out, while Henderson, Denny, and Donaldson still lead the way. Zier on fresher tires. Henderson's going to come down pit lane this time. Henderson's going to come down and relinquish the race lead. Does Alfred Denny stay out or does he come in? Alfred Denny may come. Yeah. Looks like he's coming down pit lane. But he won't. He'll stay out. So Alfred Denny will take the race lead. New race leader, Alfred Denny. 25 to go. Donaldson also came in, so Denny's on his own out in front. But crucially behind Caitlin Height. And the leading trio, her alongside Gaiman and Peach. $24 to go. When they get to the line next time. But it is now a slugfest to the finish. Donaldson, Moutre, Smith on pit lane. Donaldson and Smith coming out of pit lane now. Denny is still staying out. Denny's going super long here. Denny's hoping for a caution is what he's hoping for. And he's hoping it comes from this group that we're looking at right now as Gaiman goes for the provisional race lead and covers off the inside in 3 and 4. Denny still has not yet pit. Denny's staying out as long as humanly possible here. It's a very interesting strategy call. When he pits, these three will be battling for the race win. Swansworth down pit lane. Looks like Denny's in pit lane. Now he is. Denny in pit lane. It'll hand the lead over to Josh Gaiman. 20 laps to go. Josh Gaiman leads. But now he's got to deal with lap traffic. Oh, and Height takes advantage of it. Side by side. Gaiman got held up by Donaldson, and Height tried to shoot the gap. It didn't work that time, but the car in front of Gaiman now is Lilac Zier. For the night, teammates with Caitlin Height. And Zier is going to get out of the way. Not going to be nearly the inconvenience Donaldson was for Gaiman. As Zier actually comes down pit lane. But Heights now, there's blood in the water. Blake Henderson set the fast sector 2 time, which is second half of the lap. But Henderson 12 seconds behind the race leader. We've had 8 cautions tonight. Both stages ended early because of cautions. Alfred Denny fighting to stay on the lead lap. Held up Gaiman again. Peach right there in contention. Really good fight going on for the race lead here. $15 laps to go. Peach tags the wall a little bit, loses a little bit of time. You can tell they pulled the anchor out. Gaiman's got it hooked up there out of turn 2. Gaiman ran really high there out of turn 1 and 2. Gave height a little bit more of an advantage. Peach is overdriving it a little bit now. He's losing time. He's now over a second back. This is the run to the start-finish line. 12 to go. And it's the two juggernauts out front. Yeah, Peach is suffering a lot now. He's tagged the wall, I think, one too many times. And he's just struggling in that number 23. Ten laps to go. Oh, height and the wall. So did Gaiman. Both of them tagged the wall here a little bit. Both of them driving hard. They've opened up a 4.5 second gap. Oh, this is going to be really close. Coming to 7 laps to go. They're coming up on, I believe it's Swatsworth in front of them. It is Swatsworth. Swatsworth and McBride in front of them. The race leaders on an island by themselves. McBride got out of the way. McBride went down below the hash mark to get out of the leader's way. Swatsworth, I don't know what he's planning on doing, but Swatsworth has more pace. Katie tags the wall there with the right rear. They're both tight out of turn 2. And it will not get better these next 5 laps. 5 to go here at Darlington. It's the Southern 250. The laps tick down rapidly here. Gaiman's opened up an 0.8 of a second gap. Katie's going to have to try to find a way to claw that back in if she can. Coming to 3 laps to go. Katie is pulling it in. Shaved off 0.2. 2 to go. It's Gaiman versus height. Oh, does Gaiman tag the wall? Almost. Had to check up, though. It's another 1/10 and change. Three 0.3 is the gap. Gaiman has lost pace. Coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go, presented by Henderson Graphics. Lap cars should not be a factor. Oh, they might be. Matt Smith is one of those lap cars. Matt Smith goes below the hash mark. But did it throw Gaiman off? It did. He hit the wall. But it won't be enough. From denied at Pocono to winner at Darlington, Josh Gaiman takes it. Josh Gaiman joins the round of 8. Hunter Peach finishes in 3rd place tonight. And Josh Gaiman celebrates. After the whirlwind week that was Pocono, all of it does not matter tonight. Served his penalty on the opening laps. And makes all of it nothing by winning here at Darlington. Third career win. For Josh Gaiman. And he burns it down. And that engine is completely gone on the 61. But he is a race winner of the Southern 250. Well fought race, well fought win for Josh Gaiman. Surviving the onslaught that was most the end of this race by Caitlin Height and Hunter Peach. Josh Gaiman, race winner. Now in the round of 8, he'll join Dylan McDonald as locked in to the next round and does not need to worry about Talladega next week. We're going to talk to him. Josh, this is Carmen from the ABM booth. You got a copy?
Gotcha.
Alrighty. From Pocono to Darlington, what a difference a week makes. But you're in the round of 8, and everything that we worried about after Pocono ends up being for nothing. Walk through, obviously, how this race was. Obviously, having to come to the back of the field and racing as hard as you were there in the final stage.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely won't say that I didn't deserve it because I got really heated last week. You know, I did dumb stuff, so it happens, and I capitalized on it. I did it right this week, and just had a fast car. I love this car combo with this track. I don't know what it is about this place, but you know, in off-season stuff, I ran OAP, and during the open setup stuff there, basically just dominated the field at this place. I fell in love with it with this car, and just the pace was awesome the whole race. At the end there, I started getting tight because I kept clipping the wall, but yeah, it held in there.
Obviously, you talk about Pocono and how rough things were there, and it may put an emphasis on tonight because Talladega is a bit of an up in the air showcase, as we know. How important was it getting that result tonight and making Talladega less of a stressful environment for you coming up, to where you can kind of just focus on the round of 8 coming up now?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to always be able to just go into a super speedway that's in the chase or the playoffs, whatever you want to call them. And just relax, you know, and just be able to turn laps and not really have to worry about anything. It's definitely a rough one. You know, I mean, it doesn't matter where you race or who you're racing with, you know, things happen, whether it's, you know, netcode just being mean to everybody or, you know, guys just wanting to get really aggressive with side drafting and bump drafting and all that stuff. So it's nice.
Obviously, round of 8, you joined Dylan McDonald, and obviously a really good battle there with Caitlin Height. Obviously, Hunter Peach was in that mix. Just a phenomenal race all the way around. But, you know, like, you look at this round of 8 coming up, and it is, like, obviously a lot of the chaos is going to be happening in the round of 12 here with Talladega coming up. But that round of 8 is not a slouch. Chicago, Indianapolis, Bristol. Of those races, you know, which one kind of sticks out in your mind of being the way that you can kind of punch your ticket to the championship for?
Yeah, the rest of the schedule looks pretty fun for me, so hopefully it all, you know, runs pretty smoothly. You know, I'm definitely a big fan of Chicagoland. I don't think I've raced there in forever, let alone with this car. You know, and then there's Indy, Bristol, and Auto Club are just awesome tracks all the way through. Bristol's a little rough for me, but I have fun there, you know, at least I try to. But yeah, the rest of the schedule looks pretty good for me, so hopefully I'll just be able to keep the nose clean and keep it out front.
Obviously, tonight's a big night for you. You win the Southern 250 here tonight, your 3rd career win in HTL competition. Before I let you go and let you go celebrate in full, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Josh, the floor is yours. Congratulations. You're a race winner here at Darlington.
Yeah, I'd just shout out, you know, everybody at Stepping Stone Motorsports. We have been working hard this season for sure. Just, you know, trying to get as many points as possible. And everyone's been really, you know, busting their butts to drive better and to just, you know, get better and everything at everything, you know, not just driving, but you know, shout out my partners, 213 Simware, Maconi Setup Shop, W Energy. You know, hopefully we'll maybe we'll be able to get an HTL Championship T-shirt out there here coming up pretty soon. So that'd be pretty sweet. And you know, the HTL guys, you know, for putting up with all of us every week and and you for putting on a good broadcast there. I also want to shout out Blake because he did not have to give me the room he did, and he did it, and it was very much appreciated.
Well, Gaiman, obviously go and enjoy the race win tonight. Obviously, a huge night, a huge weekend in a total. Go and enjoy the race win. You're in the round of 8. You're moving on.
Thank you.
That was Josh Gaiman, our race winner here tonight. We'll hear quickly from the second place finisher, Caitlin Height, who pushed Gaiman, kept Gaiman very honest here this evening here at Darlington. Katie, this is Carmen from the AVM booth. You had a copy?
Yeah, I got ya.
Alrighty, what a crazy end of that race. You and Josh Gaiman going toe-to-toe here at Darlington. Ended up with the second place finish tonight, but led a lot of laps. Won stage 2. Can I just walk through how difficult this race was? A race of attrition tonight.
I don't know, ever since like stage 1, it was just the racing was just really stout at the front of the field. There were several people that I raced with throughout. I know first half of the race I was racing a lot with Dean, and he was really fun to be around. I think we went like side by side for 2 whole laps, which was really fun to do here. But yeah, the setup just played into a lot of my weaknesses, actually. It just I wasn't able to really get the most out of the car, and it was more like just thinking each corner ahead, just like, okay, how do I keep it out of the wall? Which, as you saw at the end there, I just sort of gave up on that philosophy, and it really affected me.
Obviously, this track is very difficult, right? You're still holding on to the points lead. One of the safest drivers, going into Talladega, which is always random, as we saw earlier this season. But you have races like tonight where you see a bit of who all's got it going further, because after Talladega, it's all skill tracks. Being able to kind of compare yourself to Game and put yourself there with Boone. Obviously, you talk about Dean Clavitt there early on in this race. Obviously, you going beyond Talladega, you look at Chicagoland, you look at Indy. Who do you think you're going to be contending with the most here? Because you are still the championship favorite, but now it's a lot tighter at the top. Who do you think you're going to be dealing with the most often going into these next 4 races?
I will say, based on the past 2 races, Shad has really stepped up a lot. He's going to be one to really watch for. I do have a little bit of knowledge how these cars are going to drive at Chicagoland, but I have to get through Dega first.
Yeah, Dega's going to be a wild one.
Sorry.
You're good.
Yeah, I have to get through Dega first and then see like what exactly is going to happen with that. But for the time being, I feel like I'm safe. But Chicagoland, that one could be interesting. I have no idea what Indianapolis is going to really be like. I'm just going to go ahead and think of it more like Pocono for now. And of course, Bristol, that's just going to be, you can be out front dominating the entire thing, and just one wrong move by somebody else could just take you out of it. So really, but like I was saying, Shad, he's one that I'm going to say is one to really watch, despite the troubles for Pocono and here tonight. I still think he's a threat.
Well, obviously, tonight was a wild night, a huge battle tonight, obviously, between you, Gaiman, Hunter Peach there at the end of the race. Before we let you go and kind of let you just unwind and relax, if there's anyone to shout and say thank you to, Katie, the floor is yours. And as another podium, another front-running finisher tonight at Darlington.
Yeah, I want to once again thank everyone that helps put on HTL, just all the writing in the background. I know that Josh had quite a bit of a go of it, trying to get everything set up here last second. Obviously, you being here to broadcast and commentate, it's always a great production. And Also want to thank all the fans in chat. Yeah, I know Callie and Taylor, they've been watching, Olivia, and everyone else that's just sort of helping to back and support me. It's definitely been a ride so far.
Well, it's a ride that doesn't stop just yet. Obviously, still got 5 races left this season. Talladega up next. Katie, obviously, congratulations again. Second place finish tonight. A well-fought battle this evening. And obviously, we'll be watching next week at Talladega.
All right. Thanks.
No problem. Have a good night. That was Caitlin Height. Second place finisher here this evening. We got one more interview. Obviously, we've lost our overlays for the second time this evening. But we'll go over the results here in just a moment. We'll talk to Hunter Peach, our third place finisher, first. After a phenomenal result, his first podium in HTL competition. Hunter, this is Carmen from the ABM booth. You got a copy?
Hey.
Alrighty. Obviously, we know what you're capable of in Champ Car, but first podium here in HTL competition, Hunter. Obviously, a really good battle at the end, but kind of just walk through your race, how you were adjusting tonight.
Track position, main thing. I basically I'm not a big fan of this. Oh, I know Joshua said that he's a big fan of this car and this track. I love this track a lot, but not this car on it. I just feel like it bottoms out too much. But no, the start of the race, I hit the wall in qualifying, had to start in the back, which is not fun. And then trying to find a way to get up to the front. And I was having brake issues earlier. It just slid every time I got below somebody, so I just couldn't pass. And then ultimately just started taking tires, and then eventually cautions came out, took no tires, got up to fifth and just tried to stay up there. And finally got settled in like the last stage, second stage. And it was just kind of just be consistent while not losing time. I was hoping for a little bit more green flag runs to try to play some strategy to get in front of Caitlin and Joshua. I know I was better on the long run, but they were better on the short run. I think they were shifting. I don't know how they did it. But, I mean, I'll take third. I'm not going to argue with it. Definitely fun, but also chaotic at the same time.
Well, obviously, you talk about chaos, right? And obviously, you saw a little bit of everything this evening. You've been in your few races, and now Talladega is coming up. You look at next week, you don't really have a lot to race for. You're just kind of going in there and playing spoiler. How confident do you feel, obviously working with NFG, working with one of your friends, Zachary Meredith? How confident do you feel going into Talladega in 7 days that you'll be able to play spoiler and possibly do a little bit better than third?
% confidence, nothing to lose. I got great teammates. I imagine we'll come up with a strategy, me and Zach will, along with everybody else. We did at Daytona. I mean, finished fourth there. Had a shot at a podium, so not too worried. I really looked at this track tonight and Dega as my last 2 chances to probably get a win. I feel confident the most. Maybe Indy, Chicagoland, Bristol, and Auto Club. I'm not too sure. So I trust the team. We'll figure it out and just go in there 100%. Just go balls to the walls and just try to stay out front.
Well, obviously, we've seen a lot from you, obviously, in Champ Car last year. We get to see you now in HTL. It's been a lot of fun watching you kind of come in and show everyone here at HTL what you're made of. Obviously, we got to see you. We were introduced to you through through Kyle Taub, and now Zach Meredith bringing in the HTL. Phenomenal result here, P3. Before we let you go and let you celebrate your first podium in the series, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, Hunter, the floor is yours. Congratulations. It's well fought, well earned tonight.
Just want to shout out my partners. I know they're not in the car, but gotta shout them out. They were on the pit crew tonight. They did phenomenal. Gotta shout out JCTV in the fast lane. Check them out, and 213 Simware for being with me, as well as David on Newfound Glory for obviously giving me this shot back at Phoenix to come along here and race with all these people, and then Blake for allowing me to race. And it's definitely a challenge, but I mean, hopefully we're on the door, we're knocking there, maybe we can each out a win. And shout out to Zach, for kind of coaching me some things through some of these cars that I'm not good at, certain tracks. I get here late. I got to ask, what are you running? So he's doing a lot helping me with brake settings and all that to at least get a basic. And then shout out to you and everybody at HTL for what y'all do every week on a Monday to take time out of y'all's schedule to do this. And yeah, on a day again, hopefully get a win.
Absolutely. Well, Hunter Peach will be watching you, obviously, in 7 days' time here at Talladega. But again, enjoy your first podium. Nothing quite like the first. But good luck. Obviously, we'll be keeping an eye on that number 23 Toyota.
Obviously, want more than third.
Absolutely. Have a good night.
You too.
That was Hunter Peach, third place finisher here this evening here at Darlington, the iRLC Southern 250. The second round in the round of 12 has come to an end. We've lost our overlays, but I have the finishing order on my screen. Josh Gaiman, Caitlin Height, Hunter Peach. We heard from all three of them tonight. There are podium finishers. Matthew Boone and Blake Henderson rounded out the top five. Zach Meredith finished in sixth place tonight, with Alfred Denny, Gary Donaldson, Matt Smith, and Chad Swatsworth rounding out the top 10. Zach McBride, Dean Clavitt, they were top 12. Ryan Moutre, 13th. Angel Santiago in 14th. Lilac Zier recovered after a stage 1 accident to finish in 15th place ahead of Brandon Proudfoot. Bryce Bohr, Dustin Hall, who we saw crash out in stage 2. Eli Sasek, Dalton Hayes. Then we look at William Britton, Lily Pautier Sharp, Selena Thompson, and Caleb Eichler rounding out the 24 cars tonight at Darlington. 7 days' time, HTL Cup Series goes to Talladega for the elimination race for the round of 12. But we have a lot of action here on ABN between now and next Monday. Tomorrow night, ABN Formula Atlantics, I'll be racing, but we'll be at the Charlotte Roval. Love those cars, love that series, it's a lot of fun. If you haven't seen it, tune in 8 p.m. tomorrow evening if you're on the East Coast. That's going to be a lot of fun. Wednesday night, the ABN Admin Box Cup Series kicks off with the open shootout at Daytona. If you love the Gen 4 cars, if you love the racing from 2006, tune in Wednesday evening. Me and Kevin Young will be bringing the action for the kickoff. The 100th race ABN's hosted in-house. Special moment on Wednesday evening. Friday, it's the Twiggy iRacing Series at Watkins Glen. And then we have ARCS Racing at Chicagoland on Saturday, and then A-Square competition on Sunday at Dover. So we're going to be active just about every day except for Thursday. Last Thursday I get off before we get to do Champ Car again. But a lot of action coming up these next 6 days, so we hope to see you there. Until next time, I'm Carmen Hardy on top of, and for everyone here for HTL, for ABN Studios, for all the partners for HTL and ABN, stay safe, stay healthy, have some fun this week. We'll see you tomorrow at Charlotte.